What's good? Nah, Control, I got it right now. I'm on time today, man. Control, I'm on time today, at least my printed time. What's good with you, man? How you doing today, Control? What's going on, Hitman Broncos? Wow, man, we got a wild stuff going on in boxing, man. We got wild stuff going on in boxing. We got $1 billion worth of lawsuits, which tells me that I was right about Gervonta Davis getting set up. We had a conversation on the channel yesterday where somebody wanted to take issue with the fact that I said I believe Gervonta Davis was set up. But now that I see the financial reports from Frank Warren that somebody put up in response to accusations that were made by Turki al-Sheikh, yeah, you guys are playing around, man. Yeah, you guys are playing around. Top of the morning, man. What's going on, Mr. Mileage? How you feeling, bro? Let me say what's up to everybody. Oh, man, what's up, Shaggy? Thank you, brother. What's going on, brother? Thank you, Shaggy. I appreciate that support, man. He's just $5 holler, man. But, hey, actually, when we get to about 100 people, I'm going to go with I'll start thanking everybody for yesterday's live streams, man. Thank you to Nell Law. Thank you, brother, for being a supporter. And a new member. Kilo Kane yesterday had supported in the super chat. So thank you yesterday for supporting in the super chat, Kilo Kane. Jamel, 15 million to Regis program on an undercard is outrageous. It's still connected to what we were talking about, man. It's still connected to what we were talking about. It's outrageous, but it makes sense at the same time because these people have been doing and specializing in outrageous things for a while. They really do believe the old statement that the bigger the lie, the more people believe it. Well, I mean, I guess the more people that you lie to, the more people are going to believe your lie, because that's just a matter of that's magnification. But also, at a point in time, people are going to start knowing that you're not telling the truth, and you're not going to be nearly as effective at that. Nor is the money coming back anymore. And wow, let's talk about that, though. But thank you, Zulu Lion, yesterday. Appreciate you, brother. Barbara D, member for 45 months. Wow, what is that? That's 5 years? Or 5 years is 60 months, right? 7 years? No. 9 times 5 is 45. So, yeah, man, 5 years. Shout out to you yesterday. I didn't even see that, Barbara. 5 years. Shout out Zulu and Zulu Lion. Thank you, Big Mel. Thank you, brother, for your support. Deborah Booker yesterday. Thank you so much. Big Mar, thank you. And my guy Shaggy did it today. Thank you for the $1 holler. That means a lot. So hope Kareem, what's going on, everybody? Let's just wait for everybody to get in. With 200 people, at 200 people, I'll start chopping it up. Let me see if I can. There you go. All right, what's up, Vlad's dad in the building? What's up, Vlad's dad? How you feeling, man? How you feeling, Vlad's dad? Hope you're well. Hope you're well. Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. And shout out to everybody else in the chat, man. Hey, man, thank you for $10 holla for my guy, USMC Devil Dog. What is USMC? What's up? U.S. Marine Corps Devil Dog 7840. Thank you, brother. And thank you for your service. Is that U.S. Marine Corps Devil Dog? Hey, man, thank you for your service, man. No joke, bro. Thank you for the support. And thank you so much for your service, man. Shout out to everybody that's in the military, everybody in the armed forces. Shout out to y'all. What up, KO? What's going on with you, brother? How you feeling this fine morning, man? Glenn Campbell, good morning, man. What's up? Robin Soto, Puerto Rico. What up, Puerto Rico? What up, Robin Soto? Hope you're doing well, bro. Hope you're still throwing them hands. out there in Puerto Rico, man. Okay, so Gervonta Davis proves all money ain't good money. Gervonta Davis did not trust Turki Al-Sheikh. Gervonta Davis did not trust Turki Al-Sheikh. Turki Al-Sheikh has proven that he is absolutely not trustworthy. What's up, Just Do Boxing? How you doing, brother? I hope you're doing well, man. What's going on, man? Good to see you, brother. I stop by your channel sometime. I stop by your channel in the afternoon to check out your show. I don't always say something. I don't want to distract from your conversation. Sometimes I think that's kind of rude when people do that. What's up? Oh, I'm from the way. Big 4 for 9 KO. Hey, thank you, bro. I appreciate that. I don't trust Jive Turkey either. Nah, you can't trust him, man. Let me tell you something, though, man. I know that there is means. What do you call it? When you have the means, you have the motive. When you have the means, you have the motive, and you have the access. When you have the means, the motive, and the access to the information, you can do a lot of things. And I'm telling you right now, bro, that I seriously believe this whole thing with Gervonta Davis was set up to prevent Gervonta Davis from getting on Netflix. Because Netflix, I think that's why they did that. I think it was done, and I think he did it for that reason. Because Netflix is now the absolute pinnacle of boxing. It's where everything is headed that's going to be a huge fight. The Paramount deal is not going to be a big deal as far as the fights that are made. That's just a regular, those are for regular fighters. Those are for regular fighters. The people that fight on Netflix is going to be the ones with the really big fights. It seems like Amazon Prime are going to be regular fights too. But when you went aloft into that $100 million a fight realm, it seems like they were setting it up for it to be with Netflix. Because I think, who was the guy that works for Endeavor said, or Paramount said, that Sella is providing the money. So once again, and I still maintain, I don't care what they say in the media, they're saying that the money for these fights are coming specifically from, Sella. I don't know where Sella's getting the money. Yeah, I do know where they're getting the money. Oh, Infinite Excellence said for the consistent, unbiased boxing coverage. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for that support. It means a huge deal because I want to take the rest of the day off. I want to rest. I want to take the rest of the day off and rest and just sit back and lay back, eat some bonbons. You know what? You know what I mean? Hitman Bronco said, "Why is the picture so small?" The picture is small. What picture? You must be on the one with the screen. Because you're on the one. Yeah, because there's two screens. Go to my webpage. Go to the page, and there's another one that covers your whole TV. You just got to go check the other one. Facts for 9. Imagine if Tank would have showed his skills and did his thing on Netflix against Tank, he would have blown up even more. Yeah, but they wanted that instead for the UK fighters that they're stealing. So I'm telling you, this is my belief. I think that guy got set up. And I'm not the first person to say it because that's what his lawyer is saying, that they have a proof that it's extortion. And if you put somebody up to extorting somebody out of money to ruin their reputation and prevent them from getting a big prize, I know people that will do that. I absolutely positively know people that will do that. If you have something good going on in your life, they will conspire to make sure that gets shut down so that you can look like you're right. You know what economists do? That's what economists do. Guys like Thomas Sowell, that's what guys like that do. They set up all kind of contraptions to make sure that your money doesn't work for you under a certain system. And then the system that they have works because it's gambling, and they act like, oh, yeah, that's the system that's the good system. But if you have another system that's working, what will they do? They will conspire to ruin the lives, attack either militarily, economically, financially to manipulate the outcome. So they want to claim that their philosophies are correct, But what they're actually doing is just manipulating the outcome. So the theory itself is not flawed. It's your refusal to implement it that is the reason that it doesn't work. It doesn't work because the people that are told to do it don't do their jobs. For now, I seen Zab yesterday. I forgot he was on Devin's stream. Oh, yeah. Bill. Oh, man, you know what it is. He's on the payroll. He's on these guys' payroll, man. Oh, well, not. No, I'm sorry. Let me correct it. He was on these guys' payroll. I will say it. I'm sorry. They were on a payroll. Because the person that was paying the payroll ain't paying the checks no more. They don't process the payroll anymore at the level that really counts. They're not going to distribute your money to you. There's going to be all kind of drama with that. You know why? Because Turkey traded on you. They have $1 billion lawsuit because they think they expected $1 billion worth of money. I mean, not worth of money, worth of fights. $1 billion. That's the contractual obligations he had. $1 billion. He already made $164 million in 2024. So in order to get to $1 billion, that's what? 800 billion left? Roughly 800 billion left? That's 4 years, 4 or 5 years. Basically, no less than 6 years. It doesn't matter. You can still be on his payroll. Haney is his godson. Yeah, he can still be on his payroll. Bill is his daddy and is still on his payroll. Reggie Brown. Hey, Reggie Brown. Bill Haney is Devin Haney's daddy, and he's on that payroll. So why would I not think that his godfather would be on the road? If his actual father's on the payroll, why wouldn't you think that the godfather's on the payroll? That's just one more reason for me to believe he's on the payroll. Or that he's getting paid. He's connected in that way. But come on, man. I don't have a problem with it, though. Wendell Adore for 4. What up, man? Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man, for getting the channel going with that wonderful, wonderful, wonderful donation. You didn't even say anything, man. Thank you. But, man, I just want to say, let Bill tell it. Devin's on his payroll. I mean, in actuality, they're all on a payroll. I mean, we've been talking a long time about how these guys are fighting on a budget. There's a budget for these guys' fights. And they're getting paid depending on how much certain people want to allocate of that budget to them. So if you have people in connections in places that are willing to over allocate money to you and under allocate money to other people, oh, you've got a lot of problems there. Why do you not think that the UK has fighters getting $15 million for an undercard fight? Bro, they're making a mockery of it. There's no way in the world that a UK fighter should ever get paid $15 million. For a fight, no way is a UK fighter getting $15 million in a fight. Do they deserve it? And I mean it. I don't care what they're getting paid. Not near one of them deserve $20 million in a fight. Much less that much. Fuck out of here. You guys don't deserve that money. Jeep Red Boy in the building. Thank you, brother, for the support, man. Huge support, bro. Thank you, man. Zab was tripping. He said Devin will knock out Ryan. I told you he would want your get back. He said, I told him you would want your get back. He said nothing. Zab was tripping. He said Devin will knock Ryan out. I told him you would want your get back. He said nothing. Yeah, because he don't want one. No. Not off of a fight. No. Because the most you're going to get selling tickets and pay-per-views, the most you're going to get is $10 million. You have to have extra shit in there for him to make more money. You have to. You got to be burning money on him to give him anything over $20 million. Think about it. And when they sold out the Wembley Stadium, The entire gate for Wembley Stadium was $10 million. They did 1 million pay-per-views at $25 a pop, roughly, right? That's $35 million tops. That's a whole fight total, makes $50 million. Why in the world would he get over $20 million for that scenario? Where do you get $100 million worth of revenue outside of Saudi Arabia? Outside of them and sell those guys a royal fund putting money on top of the fight. No, they're not making their money back. They're getting the money off the budget. You're basically telling me that he deserves a certain amount of money because other people are making a certain amount of money. That might be true. But actually making that money, return on investment money from tickets, and no. No way is he making that much money. No way. No way. So what you have is you got somebody coming in there who's responsible for paying the bills. You have a project sponsor who's responsible for paying the bill. What you guys have been saying is that project sponsor is Mohammed bin Salman. That's what you guys are saying. That Mohammed bin Salman, because Sela is basically the Saudi royal government, and it's backed by the Public Investment Fund. So you have Sela, which is backed by who? Mohammed bin Salman. And I'm talking about the actual person, not the entity. Not like, oh, who supports him? Oh, Saudi Arabia does. No, it's Mohammed bin Salman that does. Mohammed bin Salman said he's not paying for shit outside of Saudi Arabia. They've got a company, Sela. So Sela may be connected to the Public Investment Fund, but that doesn't mean that Sela can't get the money from somewhere else in order to have the Riyadh stamp on it. Because you got to jive those two things at the same time. That they said that they're not trying to move money out, but yet Sela and those guys are connected to it. So maybe Sela is connected to it. Maybe the Saudi royal Mohammed bin Salman is like okay with Turki al-Sheikh being a part of Sela and putting the Riyadh label on things, but you can have the funding coming from somewhere else, which is what I've been saying for a long time. So they've got a project sponsor, a person, and that person has representatives. And you guys got caught stealing. And they got caught stealing. I told you on my channel they got caught stealing. Yes, I did. I told you that the people that had the access to this money, because we can look at what goes on in the newspapers, that's fine. You can look at what's going on in the newspaper. We can talk about it like that. Mohammed bin Salman says that he doesn't have the money anymore to be investing on things outside the United States. So Turki al-Sheikh and Sela have to find ways to make money, have to find other people to invest with them on these fights. So Mohammed bin Salman is no longer the sugar daddy, even though Sela is still connected and responsible for paying the bills. So whoever was partnered with Mohammed bin Salman is now responsible for paying the bills for these fights because they promised, because they're partners, that they had access to this money. So we can make perfect sense of this and not call anybody a liar, because it is very clear that Sela and these guys are the ones that are putting the money up, not Netflix. And I did say something. Did I or did I not say that Netflix did not pay for that fight for Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez? I said it. And guess what they said? They said Sela was not responsible for the paying of the purse for that fight. Netflix, they were not responsible for it. Sela was. That's what they said. TKO was not responsible for the purses. Sela was. So did Sela get the contract? Now, Sela could have got the contract with Netflix and Netflix paid them the money. That seems like Netflix partnering with somebody who is also partnered with Mohammed bin Salman. I mean, I've been in business a long time, man. I know how business deals are worked. I know how they're organized. I know how you have to get into people. You have to get in and you have to make deals. So, yeah, Turki al-Sheikh was probably at a point, maybe getting money from Mohammed bin Salman, but more than likely, he's just an investor in it. And he brings in the name of Mohammed bin Salman and the backing of Mohammed bin Salman. But apparently the money that's going into Sela is coming from somewhere else, because that's the only way you can reconcile Mohammed bin Salman and those guys saying that they're actually asking for Saudi royal families to invest back into Saudi Arabia, not to have the money go out, to have the money go in. Okay? That's what we're dealing with here. So you see all this high-level stuff, and Gervonta Davis gets snagged for some dumb shit. And his big fight with Netflix, where all the money's going to be coming from the new pipeline, they didn't want Gervonta Davis on that network. They wanted a Brit on that network. Ryan was offered $40 million. Ryan said no. Oscar De La Hoya said, no, not all good money is good money. You realize who turned that money down? A couple people turned that money down. Nah, $40 million, I don't want that money. $40 million. Ryan Garcia said, I promise you, they offered me $40 million. I didn't want that money. What happened to Anthony Joshua after Anthony Joshua got his hands on that money? Can anybody tell me? After Anthony Joshua replaced Gervonta Davis under very, very funny fucking situations. Yes, I would. Yes, I would care. Yes, I would care. Absolutely, I would care. You know why? Because it's the truth. But this is let me respond to you, Lamar Stone. Would you care when this money was coming from Gervonta and Errol were the ones getting the money? You didn't ask me the question. If somebody was stealing money from somebody else, I would still tell you that they would go to jail. No, I would not be just happy they were getting it. Not if they're stealing from the person I'm talking about. No, I wouldn't. But I like how you think you can read somebody's mind, though. I mean, that's very interesting how you read my mind and what I would do. No, I would not do that. No, I would not be happy if Gervonta Davis was actively involved in stealing somebody's money. I would be happy if they were stealing the money and it was going to Gervonta. No, I wouldn't. Yes, I would, Lamar. That's how I know where the money's coming from. Lamar, I obviously care because that's how I know where the money's coming from. I know where Gervonta Davis's money's coming from. What do you mean? I absolutely know where Gervonta Davis's money's coming from. I know exactly where it's coming from. Hey, man, that's enough from you, son. You're making bad arguments, so I'm going to sit you down for a little while. Go ahead and sit down, and you need to sit down for a little while, son. You're in the business. You're trying to tell me what I think. You don't have to tell me what I'm thinking because you're listening to me talk to you. So I will tell you what I think. If Gervonta Davis was stealing the same way I believe these people are stealing this money, I would say Gervonta Davis is stealing money. You know why? Because Gervonta Davis would be stealing money. The reason why I'm saying these people are stealing money is because they're stealing money. If they weren't stealing money, I wouldn't be saying they're stealing money. If they weren't doing bad things with this money, framing people, doing all kind of other shit, in my opinion, I wouldn't be caring because they wouldn't be doing these things. So I'm sorry. The only reason that I care is because they're doing it. You can play some hypotheticals. Who's stealing money? They're stealing money out of trust funds that are passed through hedge funds, and the hedge funds pay the money out in large purses and other expenditures to the tune of billions of dollars. The fact that you have $1 billion that was expected to get paid, I've already answered these questions. I'm not going to tell you who. Gary Childress, I'm not going to tell you who. All I'm telling you is that they're coming from trust funds that are going to hedge funds. At the point of the hedge funds, we know of the information to the point of the hedge funds. I know of the information all the way to the trust funds. So I'm sorry, but I'm not going to tell you who, because it's not my business to tell you who they're stealing from. Because the person that they're stealing from knows that they're stealing from them and is stopping it, which is why you got billion-dollar lawsuits and why these guys aren't going to be able to pay the money. Because the money's not coming from Saudi Arabia. It's coming out of the trust fund of the people that I'm talking about. And when they were alerted to the fact that the money being spent was actually theirs, they said, stop it. Don't do it. So guess what happened? Turki and Sela got caught with a bunch of contracts that they signed for billions of dollars that they do not intend to fund anymore. It's a $1 billion lawsuit, man. So if there's a $1 billion lawsuit connected to Gervonta Davis, you better believe everybody else would say something. Turki Al-Sheikh is being sued for $1 billion. $1 billion. For promises made to UK boxing, specifically to Frank Warren. And evidence of this $1 billion promise, he has $168 million in money that was paid to them in 2024 alone. $168 million for fights in Saudi Arabia and in the UK. 3 major cards that I know of. One was the 5-on-5 Eddie Hearn versus 5-on-5 versus Eddie Hearn versus Matchroom versus Queensland. They got a ton of money for that, which basically washed out all those fighters on that card that were with Matchroom. And then after that, they had Tyson Fury. They also had Tyson Fury fight a couple times that year. But they fought in Riyadh. They had 2 cards in Riyadh. That's $168 million. So what I'm telling you is, if the money is not coming from Riyadh and you still have these obligations, where's it coming from? I know you don't like it, son. I know you don't like it. But Gervonta was right not to play with y'all, because that's bad money. That's bad money. That's why you're facing $1 billion lawsuit. $1 billion lawsuit from the guy from Frank Martin. You guys come to the United States and claim you're going to take over the United States, and what happens? You guys wind up having to deal with Dana White, and Dana White now gets his money I don't care what they say. They get that money from the boxing aspect of it, from the people that had to make those promises. Sela gets, guess what TKO gets? TKO gets to do business and have boxing matches that are paid for by Sela. Wow, that's pretty huge. They didn't just steal Conor Benn. They didn't just get Tyson Fury to fight on that Netflix card. They took the funding from Frank Warren. They took the funding. I told you they were going to take the funding back. I told you. Don't tell me I didn't tell you they were going to take the money back. I told you they were going to take the money back. I told you they were going to turn it off. And what they did is they turned it off and they spent it somewhere else, because you still have to spend that money. And you can say whatever you want. We know what's up. We know what's up. All money ain't good money. And we knew it from the time that Terrence Crawford I knew it. I started to suspect it from the time that Terrence Crawford turned down the fight with Errol Spence Jr. to fight David Avanesyan on BLK Prime. When in the world have you ever seen something like that? You have what is probably the biggest fight in boxing get broken up by a trust fund out of California that overpays Terrence Crawford $10 million for a BLK Prime fight in Omaha, Nebraska. That was a trust fund. That means it was a hedge fund that did that. The only fund that can spawn this many hedge funds is a trust fund that has a lot of people on it, or a lot of funds that are on it. And I know the only people capable of doing it. So since you have to know how it operates. Once you know how it operates, it's very easy to work back, deconstruct it, and figure out who can be the only people that are doing this. And by process of elimination, dog, I know who's doing this. And it ain't your business. I'm not going to say the names, but I know who's doing this. I know who's playing this shell game. Deloitte. Turki clearly wasn't hip to Frank's game. The man is a made man who always has his T's crossed and I's dotted. You better have his money on time. Oh, you know it. And they're going to have to pay him. $1 billion lawsuit. $1 billion lawsuit. $1 billion lawsuit on Sella. And let me tell you something. Anybody that owns a piece of Sella is party to that lawsuit. So while we put on the table that they're suing Turki Al-Sheikh, dude, they're suing Sella. So if you're a partner in Sella, they're suing you. They're going to sell these guys jointly and severally. That means they're going to sell you, they're going to get you as a group, and they're going to sue you as an individual. They're going to lump your ass up in a lawsuit, and they're going to sue you as an individual. They're going to get individual. You're going to individually have to pay for what you did. And you ain't got the money because we turned the money off and pushed it over there. You know what I mean? And they turned around and paid your fighters. Then they punched you in the mouth. Let's talk about how they punched Frank Martin in the mouth. By telling Frank Martin, we're telling Frank, look, Frank, we're going to steal your fighters if you don't. Actually, I like Frank, though. Frank Warren, I like Frank. I hope Frank wins. I can't even fuck with him. I hope Frank wins. If I know who these people are suing, oh, yeah, I hope they hit him in the pocket, dog. I hope you got to figure out where to get that money from, because you ain't getting it from where you used to get it from. You better squirrel it away something. Hey, said that's a made man, Noop. You know what it is. I mean, you know. Oh, I know what it is, man. Yes, say phenomenal, Noop. I know. That means Frank is going to slap your ass up if you ain't give me this money. Means Frank ain't just suing you in the court of law, dog. Frank say he going to come get his money. I like Frank. Shout out to you, Frank. He said, hey, dog, it ain't just about suing them. Hey, dog, you ain't going to do this to us. Yes, they are. Yes, they are going to do it to you. Yes, they are going to do it to you. You know why, Frank? Because you did. But I like Frank Warren. Frank Warren always been blowing the whistle on these cats. Eddie Hearn is the one, dog. Eddie Hearn is the one. What's up, JC Cowboy Network? What up, man? Hey, man, shout out to y'all, man. Wasn't a fighter, but yeah, he got shot and kept his mouth shut. Dealt with it old school. I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure what you're talking about. But seriously, man. Hey, Fanon, would Don King get paid if it was him? Look, man, I don't know. Don King is not stupid. No. Hey, would Don King get paid if it was? No. Don King would not get paid if it was him. Don King's not suicidal. You can say whatever you want to say. Ain't no 95-year-old man suicidal. Okay? You niggas is suicidal. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I got demonetized because I said that. Look, seriously, man. Would he take the money? No. What part of not all good, all good? What about not all money is good money do people not get? Bro, you better leave that money alone. Why? Because there's a dragon that's going to come looking for the money. You better leave the money. It's like, let me pick up this nice little puppy. Let me pick up this nice little puppy. Big, nice little furry puppy. It's kind of big for its size. And it's a little baby bear. You better leave that baby bear the fuck alone. Leave the baby bear alone. Because if the baby bear is there, the mama bear is somewhere around. And if you're playing with that baby bear, you're in trouble. That's what I mean by not all money is good money. Dog, these dudes do not have the G-U-N-S. They don't. They have pens and paper. You get me? They got pens and paper. They've got files. They've got systems. They've got, surveillance. Dog, it don't matter what you surveilling. If it don't matter, you can surveil all you want. Don't matter. Because you can't do nothing about what you're surveilling. You get me? So it doesn't matter, bro. These niggas that you dealt with are thieves. They're just thieves. And you got to understand, when push comes to shove, thieves are like leaves in the wind. They blow like leaves in the wind. Thieves, liars and thieves. That's what I told you. And that's why I knew it was going to happen, because it's a house of cards. It's a house of cards. Yes, it looks stable, but if you touch one card, the whole thing is going to, because it's a fake. It's a bubble. This is a boxing bubble somebody built to try to spend a ton of money and dry some accounts out. Yeah, it is. And they tried to, it's embezzlement is what it is. And it's a house of cards, just like that Epstein stuff. When people looked at his money, they were like, there's no way he can afford this. It's a house of cards, yes, because it wasn't just him. He was part of the act of the people doing it that were getting this information. Oh, yeah, I got a lot of dirt on these people, bro. Dog, you better believe I know who's watching you, dog. I know who's watching you. True that, Fanon, true that. You know what it is. I'm telling you, he was smart not to take that money. That was one of the best decisions people do not take these people's money. Don't do it. Do not buy stolen goods. You know why you don't buy stolen goods? You don't buy stolen goods because the people that stole it are going to steal from you. You don't buy stolen goods, Frank. You're buying stolen goods. You know you're buying stolen goods, Frank. You know you're buying stolen goods. Now you're suing over stolen goods. It's tough. And then when the money got shut off, the company got to go over there and do what they're told. And give all that. Oh, I love it. A said, with my little blue for the cause. Thank you, Big Mel. Shout out to you, bro. Let me get them super chats going. Oh, yeah. You know what it is. I know y'all don't like that, though. We respect the history of the belts. Zuffa never going to change that. Zuffa does not have to change the belts. This thing can fall apart tomorrow. Bro, the whole venture can fall apart tomorrow. It doesn't matter if Zuffa is successful or not. I mean, look, you can listen to the guy that has been telling you what's going on, or you can listen to somebody else. I'm okay with that. But what I'm telling you is I have seen this coming and other people have seen this coming. I have had an explanation for why this is coming that differs from the explanations that were given by other people for the same phenomenon. And as we look, they wind up being in a situation where they supported these guys coming in. They didn't support. Listen to who these guys were blasting. They're blasting Dana White. They're blasting Dana White. They were not blasting Turki al-Sheikh for what Turki al-Sheikh was doing. They were only blasting Dana White. Turki Al-Sheikh is called His Excellency. Turki Al-Sheikh is you know what I mean? It's crazy what y'all did, man. Tom said Tank has the single most supreme advisor in the game, and that's why his name is consistently besmirched, slandered, or riveted with libelous claims, period. You're 100% right. Exactly. Said they really don't like Dana. That's who they don't like. They don't like Dana. They do not like Dana. Hate Dana. Dana. You know why? Because those guys, those managers, and I'm telling you, I'm not saying Dana because Dana's being sued by you motherfuckers sue people for everything. Excuse my language. I'm not taking the fact that somebody gets sued is evidence of them doing stuff. I'm not. Oh no, let me see. I'm sorry. 2 Cent in the building. Thank you so much, 2 Cent. Thank you, brother. I'm sorry. Thank you, sister. And my guy David Lynch said, true that, but 2 Cent with the $10 holler. Thank you so much. 10 to God said, I have a question about trust funds dealing with my son's situation. I don't know if you can help or not, but can I put it in your email? I mean, you can, but I'm definitely I am man. You would be much better finding somebody that is a wills and trust lawyer than me. Because I have dog shit at wills and trust. I couldn't set up a will or a trust, save my life, man. Even though now I do remember. Thank you so much, Tim the God. But if you ask me a question, I can get you as close as I can get. Tim the God, for sure. Send me an email for sure. Yeah, y'all hate Dana. I get it. But y'all hate Al Heyman too. Y'all hate Dana and y'all hate Al Heyman. Y'all hate Dana and you hate Al Heyman. You love Turkey. Now, Turkey is with Dana. And what do you have left? I'm talking about boxing fans. I'm not talking about the people responsible for this shenanigans. You got me? I'm not talking about the people responsible for the shenanigans. I'm talking about the boxing fans. What do you clowns get for this? Somebody doesn't do live streams anymore, bro. Chuck E. Cheese, you can't tell me shit. You don't do live streams no more. And you don't do videos over 8 minutes, but once every blue fucking moon. I love man boxing YouTube, man. I'm grinding. Y'all took the easy way out. Bill offered the easy way out. Other people offered the easy way out, and you guys took the easy way out. Turki Al-Sheikh was the easy way out for you guys. You guys did not have to sell tickets. You guys did not have to buy. You do not have to fight hard to make the fight. No. 2 Cent. A certain person that I know to be a bot no longer does live streams and does not do videos very often over 8 minutes, which means they're not making any money, which means the money does not come from there. The money comes from somewhere else. Yes, it does. The money comes from somewhere else because you're doing things to affect the algorithm where your engagement can go up per video. And that way you get more views. And the way you do it is by you shrinking your videos to a shorter length. Because you guys can't buy views anymore. You got Showbiz the Adult already on DAZN. That's because you guys can't commit fraud anymore. You got Wade concept on DAZN on DAZN because certain people were instructed that they can no longer commit fraud. Yep. They can no longer commit fraud. That's why they have to be there. That's why they have to make announcements that if I gamble money, I can't lie. You can't do it anymore. I'm just telling you that these people are not who they say they are. These people are hired by the people that I'm talking about. And you guys are listening to me right now. So that's why you got to change and switch things up. Because you can no longer sit and lie to people and say that I'm delusional. Now that you got $1 billion lawsuit on your head. Yeah, you do. Because if you are a partner in Sella, you are going to get sued as a partner in Sella. Yes, you are. That I thought about the organizational structure that you guys are going to get sued. The significance of them suing Sella means that they are suing Turki al-Sheikh, they're suing the Saudi Arabian government, but they're also suing every individual partner and investor in Sella. Got switched up. They had to shut it down. And I'm just way ahead of it getting shut down. So, and I'm being positive about this. There's $1 billion lawsuit on you guys right now. So if you guys had a YouTube channel and you partnered and you were getting a cut because you partnered in Sella or you partnered in DAZN, because the people that got partnership and ownership in DAZN are getting sued all the time. People that have ownership in Sella now got $1 billion lawsuit on them. And more on the way. Thomas said, nah, you ain't delucid and you ain't delusional. You're lucid, Martin. Yeah, I'm pretty lucid. When I know, because, people think they're smart. My dad told me one time, man, this is where I learned this mistake. I don't make this mistake. Don't make this mistake. Don't mistake the mistake of you being older than somebody, meaning that you're smarter than somebody. You really shouldn't. You really, really shouldn't. And the younger one is almost always better than the older one. Like there's an advancement that's made between father and son, oldest. Like you ever noticed how like Michael Jordan is the second oldest son? How Tiger Woods is like the second or third oldest? The parents get a chance to work on things. And the kid gets an opportunity to observe a lot of things that are being done by the older people that don't pay any attention to them. Because the middle kids are always looking at the parents and don't understand that everything that they're doing is being watched by the kids younger than them. And every trick that you have, they see you pull on somebody else. So when you turn around and treat them like a kid, you don't realize that they've seen everything that you've been doing and they know every trick you have. And they also have been thinking about it and know every counter move to every trick you got. And if they're more talented than you, they will beat you. You know what that's called? That's called innovation. That's why Michael Jackson is better than Jackie Jackson. That's why Michael Jackson is better than Jermaine. He had more talent and he got to see what they were doing. He gets to listen to them sing, all of that stuff. And in his mind, he makes improvements. And he was more talented. You know what I mean? So I'm telling you guys, man, the old guard is leaving. And so is the middle guard. Oh, yeah, the Don Kings and all you guys are leaving. Don King, because that's what you guys were doing in boxing. Let me talk to you boxing people. I mean this. You guys were waiting for Bob Arum to go away. You're waiting for Don King to go away. You all conspired to get rid of Don King. You all conspired to get rid of Don King. Got rid of Don King. Then Bob Arum is, you guys can conspire against you. Then you conspire with Bob Arum against Al Heyman. And then what do we find out after Al Heyman has a stroke? Who was the next one to get conspired against? Bob Arum. Because people at ESPN cut him out of his deal. Cut him out at ESPN, took his contract from him. And then where did they go? They went to go work at Paramount. Who did that benefit? That benefits Sella. That benefits Sella. Sella has a contract with Paramount. Sella was responsible, though two of the guys working for Paramount were working with ESPN. Sella is trying to get in those big fights several top-ranked fighters. Shakur Stevenson, Terrence Crawford, all those guys, they want those fighters. So what happened? They turned on Bob Arum. And after they turned on Bob Arum, then they turn on Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren. Then they turn on Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren. What up? What up, man? Why don't you do your live streams no more? Huh? You got defunded? Did you get defunded? Or did you get a new job? Did they tell you oh no, we got a contract with you. We'll go, don't worry about talking about boxing anymore, man. We'll give you a contract selling weight loss programs. Don't worry about it. You can make this money selling weight loss programs. That's how they do. That's how they do. You know what I'm saying? That's how y'all do. Anyway, who is Seaside? Who is Seaside? Nah. Who is Seaside? Nah, I'm talking about hungry hippos, bro. I'm talking about that nigga that look like hungry hippos. I'm talking about hungry hippos. That's who I'm talking about. I looked. No way, dog. That's just not making no money. So you know what's up. Anyway, also certain other people got little live streams and shit. Had to give up their channel. Got that shit. Had somebody sitting next to your ass like a baby. Somebody supervising what you say, sitting right on your ass is hilarious to me. Oh yeah, man, that shit, because you can't. I told you that shit was illegal first time you asked me to do it. Let me tell you, I told you, and you know who I'm talking to. I told you those are illegal lotteries. I told you cannot do that. I said, no, you cannot do that. You cannot have a lottery. No. If it's skill-based, you have to post the rules, and you cannot have all kind of rules y'all broke with that shit. Oh, can we talk about Terrence Crawford too? Can we talk about Terrence Crawford and how Terrence Crawford has a penchant for suing people for things that he knows damn well didn't happen? I don't even know what Philly mints are, bro. What are Philly mints, bro? Anyway, man, I just think like, bro, for real. You guys have pieces of these businesses. You guys are subject to this lawsuit. Yes, you are. And you guys have been running these games, pouring all these money through these YouTube channels, sabotaging people's channels, lying, doing all kind of shit, and now you got charges on you. Okay, so let me tell you what you got. You got a bunch of people that got charges on you, and you got a bunch of corporations, and you got a bunch of businesses that lost their financing. Let me repeat. You got a bunch of individuals that got charges on them, and you got a bunch of businesses that just lost their financing. Wow. And you're telling me that's not wow? You telling me that's not something you see? You don't see this? Matt from Brunch Boxing reported that Top Rank's deal with ESPN is back on the table because they found that there could have possibly been collusion between ESPN executives Tim Bradley, Tim Bradley, Tim Bradley, Bradley, Tim Bradley, Tim Bradley, Tim Bradley, Bradley, Tim Bradley, Tim Bradley, Tim Bradley, Bradley. Tim Bradley better stop playing games. Oh, you guys is connected to a lot of shit, dog. Hey, Phoenix says they hate Al Heyman because they thought he was doing what Turki and Dana are doing, but they think Turki and Dana are boxing savers. No, let me tell you what they do. Whenever they find a talented executive that wants to do something, instead of implementing what that person tells them to do, they steal their idea and they try to implement it themselves. So what happened was people backed Al Heyman in doing this before. However, these same people who, what can I say, are involved in the same dumb shit now, decided that they did not want Al Heyman to be responsible for that. They wanted to diversify. They wanted to create more companies. They wanted to create more names, more brands, even though it's the same thing. It's the same family. It's the same organization. The money's coming from the same place. You had a bunch of executives that wanted to diversify and have a million companies under different names still owned by the same people. So they could pay Puppet Master in a bunch of different dramas, in a bunch of different areas. That's what they did. Boxing is one of the areas. And what you find out is that it's not just boxing that this is taking place in, but it is taking place in boxing. So they have been exposed because they were betting on boxing and trying to trick people and manipulate boxing. Because the person that is, and I referred to it in a project since, the project sponsor discovered that they were running unauthorized projects, that they were spending money and moving money into places and into funds that are not approved. And they did it after they diversified into all these other organizations so that that person could not keep track of how many companies he owned. That's why they split it up. It was like they took the body of Osiris, cut it into a million fucking pieces. But once you discover the body of Osiris, you will understand that's fucking Osiris. And you put everything back together and you realize that it was that they're just trying to mislead people. That's why they can conglomerate 15, 20 different companies under one company. And that's why the government gets involved and says, oh, don't move this company here. Don't move that company here. Because they have politicians to block people from doing what they want with their companies, but they also have companies in place in multitudes to confuse the owner of those companies as to where their assets lie. And they got caught because this was like a petty fund in boxing. And they could not understand how they were stealing the money. They didn't know how they were stealing the money. Now we know how they're stealing the money and why they are so insistent on losing money for small companies. All of these companies that you guys are talking about with these billionaires, they're all losing money. Because why? Because they diversified and broke up like when they broke up the telecommunications industry, they break it up into a million pieces. They're all losing money so that they don't have to pay any taxes, but yet they still have the benefit of the wealth associated with the infrastructure that they own, which is debt-ridden. So not only do they find these new brands and these new companies, they also sink them in $1 billion worth of debt immediately. They leverage those companies, in debt the company, and then they burn the company out. That's what they do when they diversify these people's money. And they play a numbers game as to when and where it's going to happen. Because they think they're slick. Because they think they're so good at math that they can have set records in mathematical application development that people will never be able to track with their mind and their own understanding. And yes, they will be able to. You're not that smart, and that fucking computer ain't that smart either. Thank you very much. This business strategy is called a merger and acquisition roll-up. Thank you, Z Random. Thank you, Z Raymond. It's called merger and acquisition roll-up. Yep. And it rolls right up to them. And then they use the money for more political control. It's the game that they have going on that they think nobody knows how to break up. I can tell you that these people that you're talking about know how to break it up. They're going to break it up they're going to break it up at the well higher than the bank level. We're going to cut your money off. Clip. And that's what happened to you. And I'm going to tell you, if these guys continue to steal money, it's going to happen to Paramount too. They'll roll that shit up too. Break that shit up. It don't matter. But you guys but do me a favor. Don't listen to me. Listen to Blue Blood. Don't listen to me. Listen to Blue Blood. Listen to them. Because obviously they're the guys that tell you the truth. Don't listen to me. I'm crazy. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. Go listen to them. I'm not going to talk about that. Whether or not the lawsuits long-term hurt fighters or not is not my problem. I'm going to tell you right now, your mama said, do not, if you're part of a Ponzi scheme, you're part of the Ponzi scheme. What you want me to tell you? If your mama is buying illegal drugs, she's buying illegal drugs. I don't care what her job is. Get me? I don't care whether or not you are a lawyer and you're stealing somebody's money and getting stolen money, or whether you're a boxer and getting somebody's stolen money, or you're a promoter knowing damn well you're getting somebody's stolen money. I don't care. That's my answer to that question. I don't care. Because what happens, happens. When you join a Ponzi scheme. When you join a gang and you decide that you're going to take profit from what you know is going on, and you say things like, don't hate the player, hate the game, right? Like, I don't care. The game is what the game is. I'm just a player. When you engage in these activities, embezzlement, fraud, when you do that, you deserve to be punished. So, and if it hurts fighters, dog, that's just because they were part of the criminal network. I'm sorry, you're part of the criminal network. I told you not to do it. Matter of fact, that's why we're saying all money ain't good money. These fighters knew. Stop the press. These fighters knew that where this money's coming from. Y'all ain't dumb. Y'all knew where the money was coming from. You know you're getting paid too much money. You know these guys are shiesty. You know what they say to you behind closed doors. You know. You know. So if you pay the price, you pay the price. But you were also told the truth. I told you the truth. Some people listen to me. To great cost to themselves, listen to me. But guess what? They're not where you guys are. Because that lawsuit is the least of your problems. The lawsuit is the least of the problems. The law is the least of your problems. I mean this. The law. If you got arrested today for the shit you did, that's the least of your problems. You hear what I'm saying? If you are part of this shit and you get arrested You getting arrested is the least of your problems. Who do you think got the power to flip money at that level? Who do you think got enough power to turn the light switch off on these guys? And you think his money is the biggest problem you're going to have with him? I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it is, dog. I don't think you getting arrested or losing your business is your biggest problem. I swear to God, it's not, bro. I swear it's not your biggest problem. Your biggest problem is, is your insurance company. You know what I'm saying? And is whether or not your kids are taken care of. Mm-hmm. Whether or not you got everything in place for when you're no longer around. That is your biggest problem, bro. If I was y'all, I would start worrying about shit like that. Because you guys had no business doing the shit that you did. And I'm telling you from somebody that has not ever been involved in criminal activity in my life beyond petty shit. You guys fucked around with the wrong. The more you fuck around, the more you find out. And y'all got that money. Y'all fucked around, got some money. Then y'all fucked around some more, got some more money. Then you fucked around. You kept fucking around and fucking around. And then you found out where the money came from. You fucked around and found out. Now, all y'all not paying money to Frank Warren. Frank Warren, let me tell you what they're saying about Frank Warren. Frank Warren is what you call a mobster. He is what you call an old school, good old boy, you better have my money type dude. He's not somebody that you just not paying your money to, and he ain't got no problem with you. So like I said, if you were part of this little scam, and who did they try to take down? Who did they try to take down first? They tried to take down Eddie. They tried to take Frank Warren down first in the UK. Oh, yeah, they did. For now, some people still want their money. Some people, they're going to want their money. They're going to want their money. And you guys was playing around, dog. Y'all thought it was all fun and games, bro. Let me tell you something, man. And I'm telling you, I mean this with all my heart, bro. Until you really have somebody pointing guns at you, you don't really know what you're made. You really don't know what you're made of until you got somebody with guns staring in your face, bro. And I'm telling you this as a personal experience because I was in the South Side, not too far from my brother's house, down on the South Side, driving around the South Side. And I was driving in like this stretch BMW that my father had owned, 7 Series BMW, black on black. It was nice. And I went down to the South Side because, I was picking up some herb when it was illegal. So anyway, I did. And then I drove around the corner, but I didn't get it. I drove around the corner, but it was around some people that I knew, and I knew what to say. And I got pulled over by 2 police officers who jumped out the car, guns drawn, pointed right at me. Enigma, thank you, brother, for that channel membership, brother. That means a ton. And thank you, Enigma. They're doubling them up. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Let me get this for you. Right? So they pulled these guns out on me in Chicago on the South Side, right off 61st in Inglewood. If y'all familiar with the Inglewood neighborhood, man, these 2 cops pulled them guns out on me. What are you doing here? I said, hey, I'm just here for my mentor. I mentor somebody down the block. Man, the police officers pulled their guns down. And I was like, man, I didn't listen to something my father said. And as a result of him telling me not to do something, I went and did it. And for some reason, the police were called and they thought that I was such a danger that they pulled out 2 guns on me and stuck them right at my face, right at my chest. They didn't pull me over or nothing. They pulled the gun. Get out. I got out like this. 2 guns drawn on me. Yep. Don't tell me that people don't do shit. Okay? So when I'm telling you from personal experience, you fuck around with the wrong people, dog. Your money is your least problem. I mean it. Whoever called the cops on me, my least problem was my money. I promise you. At that point in time, with them guns staring at my face, my least problem was my money, or whether or not there was a contract, or whether or not I was going to go to jail. Whether I was going to lose my money or go to jail was the least problem I had with those cops with them guns on me, because somebody called the cops on me who wanted me shot, by the way. Somebody that called the cops on me that wanted me shot, by the way. Right over there in Inglewood. So don't tell me if you got a beef with somebody that they will not try to get you killed, or they will not do something to cause you major problems. So what I'm saying is, I've been telling you, all money ain't good money. It's like did you see the movie? Y'all read the book or heard about The Hobbit? You know, the J.R.R. Tolkien's and The Hobbit, the movie, the story, The Hobbit, where there's gold in this mountain. And that is a story all about all money ain't good money. You know what I mean? Not everything that is shiny is good for you. You know what I mean? But it's okay. I made it through. Yeah, I did. And I just snitched on you, dog. You know I did. You know I snitched on you, boy. You know I snitched on you. I snitched. That's snitching right there. You know what I mean? That's snitching. Anyway, if God is with you, can't no man be against you. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Can't do Frank like Bud did not want. What is this? Keith Pear. We said, can't do Frank like Bud did not want to pay built fee. I don't know what they say. Hey, Derek Thomas, I'm good, man. I can't complain about a thing, bro. I'm out here talking this good boxing, having fun, breaking shit down, letting y'all know what the real deal is, like I've been telling y'all. But y'all I had a bunch of people around me that have now been exposed as bots and frauds who are part of the money that was getting paid out. Yes, you are. All of you guys in the media, let's talk about the media and how you guys were getting paid for this. Let's talk about how you guys were getting your airfare paid for, your hotels paid for, how these guys were flying you around on private jets that belong to other people. Let's talk about all of that stuff too. Let's talk about that too while we're at it. Because this theft did not just start. It's been going on, like I said, it's been going on a long time. But this particular system's been in place since about 2006 is when you guys started to do this. That's when the shift began. And now you guys are going to have to pay for everything that you did between 2006 and now. Because you got to understand something too. They're snitching on you guys. Can I get a 1 in the chat if you know what a snitch is? If once somebody gets caught doing something, they look backwards at everything that you've ever done. And they interview everybody because they've got more than enough money to do it. Because if you get caught stealing, they're going to find out where every penny went. And every person and every reason it went that. A snitch is me? No, I'm not a snitch. I'm not a snitch. I'm not a snitch. You can't tell on yourself. How do you do that? This is just me making shit up that just happens to be true. How can I snitch? It's impossible. You know what I'm saying? It's absolutely, positively impossible. That makes, you know what I mean? It's like putting money into your own bank account being stealing from yourself. They probably accuse me of stealing from myself too. However, that doesn't mean I'm stealing from myself. Hey, driving and taking and trying to send a message. Sorry about that. No worry, Keith. Thank you, brother. They're snitching on you. And they've been told to snitch. Because again, bro, yep, I'm a rat. Yeah, I'm a rat. If I'm a rat, call an exterminator. Easy. If I'm a rat, call an exterminator. If I'm a rat, call an exterminator. That's the only way you're going to get a rat out of there is if you call an exterminator. So if I'm a rat, call an exterminator. Very easy. Call an exterminator. You can't, I'm not snitching. I was never supposed to keep a secret. You're only snitching if it's something you ain't supposed to tell. I don't know what you're talking about. I can't snitch. Only people can get, oh, I'm somebody you snitch to. Let's just think of it this way. You know, can a judge snitch? Is a judge snitching when he puts your ass in jail? I'm for real. If I'm a rat, call an exterminator. I mean it. If I'm a rat, call an exterminator. You guys have been thinking an exterminator was going to come. There ain't no exterminator coming because I ain't no rat. Everything that I know, I'm supposed to know. Let me repeat this. Everything that I know and I said, I am supposed to know this stuff. I am supposed to know it. Get it? You don't get it. You cannot snitch. I cannot snitch. And you know I can't snitch. If I commit a crime with Fanon and I tell on him, am I a snitch? If I commit a crime, oh my God. If I commit a crime with Fanon and tell on him, am I a snitch? No. Oh, if you commit a crime with Fanon and tell him, then you're a snitch. Yes. If you do it with somebody, yes. But if you're not a part of the crime and you just figure it out and nobody told you, that's not snitching. This is me just figuring out what you're doing. You snitched on yourself. What are you talking about? You got patterns. You do the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. You make the same arguments over and over and over and over and over again. You put out the same videos over and over and over and over again. You try the same arguments over and over and over again. You have the same fallacies over and over and over again. You run the same play with different names and parties over and over and over again. It's like a record that never, it's like you think because the music changed, I don't know it's a record player. Like you guys think because these guys changed the music, that's no longer a record player. That's because you switch it. No, that's a record player. No, it's not a record player. Look, I changed the music. No, it's all the similarities of the same thing. That's a record player. That's a record. Okay. You guys do the same thing so many times for so many years in so many different areas that you got busted. And you don't, and here's the other thing. You don't have any muscle. You don't have any muscle. So since you don't have any muscle, like I said, you don't have an exterminator to call. There is no exterminator to call. What do you mean? You don't have an exterminator. You can call me a rat. There's no exterminator to come because you don't have an exterminator. And I'm not a rat. Because even if I was a rat, you couldn't do nothing about it because you don't have an exterminator anymore. That's why people are ratting. Also, why do you think Frank Warren is willing to sue you? Frank Warren is willing to sue you because he's not scared of you. I guarantee Frank Warren wouldn't have sued you before, but Frank Warren feel mighty bold suing Saudi Arabia. Wonder why he feels so confident suing you in a court of law. Frank is not running everything. He feels comfortable because he knows he's okay to do it. So not only did they take the money, they allowing him to sue. Matchroom ain't doing that. Anyway, if you're a witness or a child or adult getting murdered in a park and you know the person, tell that's not snitching. Well, let me tell you something first and foremost. I don't care if you call it snitching or not call it snitching. I don't care. You're stealing and fucking up things for me personally. I don't care. I have a boxing YouTube channel, bro, and I want to talk about Gervonta Davis and have fights with American fighters, and you guys are going out of your way to cause all kind of problems with that on my channel with me directly. So I want you to go to jail for the crimes you commit because you bother me personally. Let me be very, very clear. You guys' money that you're getting is overflowing and allowing you to pay people to attack me personally. So I want you to go to jail or wherever else they take you for what you're doing. So you will stop sending people at me because that is funding the people that are coming at me. There's no way that these guys have that amount of money coming talking boxing. There is no way you were being able to spend $1,500 a day for months at a time. You spent over $500,000 on a guy that doesn't do anything but besmirch and lie about me. I know how much you're paying these guys. All right, man. Sorry about that. Hold on. I wonder why it's doing that. I'm back. All right, there you go. All right, it got me. Yeah, I'm good now. Should be good now. So anyway, sorry about that. You snitching on yourself by saying somebody's snitching on you, snitching on you instead of calling it a lie. Exactly, bro. Anyway, I'll get off that topic because I do believe that, sometimes I go a little too hard on YouTube and I don't want to put too much information out y'all because I know y'all listening to me. But anyway, I don't even care if you're listening to me. You know what I mean? Yeah, it freezes right around that time. Freezes right around that time I start digging in. Yeah, I know. Freeze the screen. Freeze the screen. I know. Anyway, like I said, y'all been investing all this money in these guys that have been attacking me, attacking 2 Cent, attacking KO Boxing, attacking anybody that does not toe your line. They immediately get a bunch of people harassing them. You get people like Barbara D gets harassed in their DMs. You got a bunch of people that come over here acting like friends, and then all of a sudden they've got these coordinated live streams that wind up taking place where it looks like it's that what they do for a living. Okay, so don't give me this shit anymore, man. Okay, I blame Bill for every technical issue, man. Bill ain't that big. Man, yeah, they slid up in that. Man, that started a war, bro. Oh, yeah, they dig. You didn't know that? They dug up in there. They slid in Barbara D's DM. It got them boys' asses whooped, is what happened. They'll tell you if they honest. You know what I mean? If they honest, they'll tell you, but they not honest, so they won't tell you. What happened was I got pissed off about them fucking with Barbara D because that's it. Like, I'm sorry, bro. I draw a line at that shit. I'm not going to be sitting there nicely while you're harassing people that are that nice just because they support me and trying to make their life more miserable because they're my friend. Okay? You guys act like high school girls. Like, you want to go around, get in people's comment sections, talk to people and say, okay, I can be cool with you as long as you don't talk directly to Martin. As long as you're not friends with Martin, then okay, we can be friends. And you can get this, you can get that. But if you're friends with him, that's what these people been doing to me because I've been telling you where this money's coming from. Yeah, Turki, all is chic. Right after Daniel Kinahan, right after Lynn Blavatnik. Oh my God, they just got $1 billion. These dudes got more billionaires wanting to burn money with them than any human being in history. Have you ever seen billionaires lining up for the privilege of burning money? Y'all are wild, bro. Y'all are wild. But anyway, I told y'all, don't tell me I didn't tell y'all. And anybody want me to, hey, oh, by the way, Bill Haney. Bill Haney. Is that a wig? I need to know. Is that a wig? Hey, didn't Floyd burn money? They burned money. I said a billionaire. I didn't say Floyd. I said what billionaire burns money. But yeah, Floyd burned money. It's exactly that's why I said this shit been going on since about 2006. Oh, that reminds me. Nate. I don't give a shit about them Venezuelans in Chicago. I'm going to be very upfront for something. I got to talk about something for shit. I want to know if that's a wig, Bill. I need to know if that's just a wig. I need to know if you got a piece, if you're wearing a piece. Are you wearing a G unit? Nah, for real though. I'm going to get off this. I only got a little bit of long time, so I got to talk to somebody directly. Forgive me for getting off topic for a second. I want you to be very clear that I do not give a shit about a Venezuelan in Chicago. I don't. If they can snatch Nicolas Maduro right the fuck out of his seat, you think I give a shit about watching what you niggas got to say about me? Really? I just wanted to say that real fast, man. Do you really think cats snatched Nicolas Maduro right out of his house, bro? Didn't even have to kill nobody. They just handed his ass over. Do you really think I'm worried about some funny ass gang that you guys are spreading myths about? I don't care. Just like I didn't care about the Latin Kings when I was there. Not that I got any problem with the Latin Kings. I was always cool with kings. I got several friends that are kings. But bro, you guys are not going to make me walk sideways. And I would suggest that you guys keep your threats tucked the fuck where they should be. Okay? And I just wanted to say that. You could keep your threats where they should be. Because for real, you really do not want what's coming back. Okay? And it's not even going to be up to me. It's going to be a necessity. Okay? Because you guys are playing and you think your boy got some power. Okay? You think your boy got some clout. You better recalibrate what you think. Okay? You better look at reality in a different way. Just like when I told you it ain't Turki Al-Sheikh's money, I meant it's not Turki Al-Sheikh's money. All y'all said I was lying when I told you it's not Turki Al-Sheikh's money. Guess what? It's not Turki Al-Sheikh's money. First of all, it was the PIF's money. They said it. That's not Turki Al-Sheikh's money. Now it's Sella and TKO. So Sella could be getting investment money from Sella, and they could be getting money from certain Saudis, but it doesn't have to be Turkey. And it also could be many other people. So I told you the whole time what was going on. So let me also, since I've done that, remove some goggles, some blinding facts from you. I don't work for nobody. 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 And you can't touch me for nothing. Nothing. And I don't work for them. It's the other way around. Get it? When somebody told you they were my manager, what they meant to say is that they are a manager that reports to me, not that they are my manager. But what they do is they lie to you and they say that they are the manager of me instead of a manager of something controlled by me. That's a big difference. Get it? So you guys have been led to some very serious errors about agency, and I'm being very legal here, agency that they did not have, and plausible deniability for politicians that does no longer exists. So when I come to Chicago, none of that stuff that you think is popping has any chance of popping. And the only reason that they're trying to get you to say something is so they can put you in jail for trying. And I'm saying that to let you know somebody is setting you up to go to jail for trying anything with me, because I am always watched. Always. So good luck with your threats. They are only there because somebody wants you to get hurt. So they gassed you up and sent you into a burning house because there's no way that you could survive that. And they know it. But again, that's because you think that I work for them, when it is the opposite is the truth. Okay? And I don't care how many people tell you otherwise. There's a reason that they have to come to me. A reason that I can tell you everything that I said today. And there's a reason I can put 5 RICOs or 6 RICOs on you guys. And there's a reason I can tell you this money is going to stop coming from here and it's going to go over there. And you can believe it if you want to. I don't care. YouTube is not my primary power. It is not. It is what I have to do because people like you exist that prevent me from making my living the way I should have been making my living. Gervonta Davis is not the first person to be blackballed by these people. I have been blackballed by these people, and they have attempted to keep me from obtaining success. And I know who the people are that did it, and I have all the proof that they did it. So when I see you do it to someone else, I know it's you doing it to them because you're doing the same thing to him that you did to me when I was a kid coming up. When I was 30 years old, 32 years old, 33 years old, and I was breaking into my profession and you had to compete against me. You lied, you schemed, you stole, you did everything that I see you doing to Gervonta, you did to me. And and that's the reason why you know certain people with my name, but you don't know other people with my name. That's why I know all of these people, but you never know my name. Because they don't want you to know my name. They want them to know my name so they can get what they want. They don't want you to talk to me. And I've told you this the whole time. So you can keep acting like I work for somebody you know I don't work for. So you can get contracts and money passed and decisions made that you know are not valid. Because you thought you had the muscle to back it up, and you don't. You did it in DC. You did it in New York. You did it in Chicago. You did it in Atlanta. You did it in Miami. You tried it each time. So don't act like I'm not telling you something I know about personally. Gervonta Davis, in my personal estimation, is being targeted by organized crime. Without a doubt. Gervonta, in my personal estimation, from my experience in life, was targeted by organized crime. That's what is happening. And they can no longer do it because I know they're doing it. And I don't care whether you like it or not. All I have to do is know it, and then it's not going to happen anymore. Just like I told you, you keep stealing this money gambling. You keep fixing boxing matches. I'm going to come get you. I told you, and that's when you guys started threatening me the first time. You guys fixed that fight with Deontay Wilder, and I told you there was Ricos coming for fixing that fight with Deontay Wilder. You guys tried to bet me money on that fight. I refused to bet you because you fixed that fight. And you fixed other fights that you tried to gamble with me personally on. And I refused to take the bets because I knew you were going to try to fix the fight. That's why I don't gamble on fights. I don't predict fights because you want to bet and fix fights. The gambling is the reason that all of you guys are getting shut down because you took this money and you used it to fix fights. You got Anthony Joshua coming in the ring in New York City, dizzy as he can be. You got Deontay Wilder swearing up and down that somebody put something in his water and he didn't know where he was. You got all kind of stuff going on, super funny around that time that Daniel Kinahan and those guys tried to come in. My memory is extremely good, Spencer Fearon. I know everybody that was trying to cut those deals and why it was important for me to be involved. All the way from the time that 2006, when they first decided to invest money in boxing, after the Roy Jones fight with John Ruiz. And you all in the boxing establishment know I'm telling you the truth because you guys ain't got a penny to rub together. $168 million in 2024 going to some Deadwood UK fighters? Why in the world would they pay just to Matchroom Box, not just to Queensland? $168 million. That's more money that was probably made from 2000 to 2010 combined for Frank Warren. Frank Warren is pulling in more profit than he used to pull in revenue. You guys were washing money out of these trust funds through these hedge funds like there's no tomorrow. And you fixed these fights. And I told you then you fixed those fights. And you got mad about it. And you called me this name and that name, didn't you? But here we are as we continue to move forward. One of you guys even got on Twitter and said that if what was true about Fanon Hancock is true, Fanon Hancock deserves to die. That's what you said, Spencer Fearon. You said if what is true about Fanon, they said about it, he deserves to die. You guys told me about your big mafia people. Bro, don't act like you didn't talk to me. I ain't no snitch. It don't matter because you guys are the sneaks, not me. But anyway, good luck getting that money out of Saudi Arabia. Good luck with that $1 billion lawsuit. Not only the money that you're not going to get because you know you spent a lot of money. You know you made a lot of commitments with that money. You know you got to pay a lot of people with that money that you were getting. But that's all right. Listen to them explain what's really going on. Listen to them. Listen to them explain what's going on in the boxing business. Where the UFC is losing money, all this money on ESPN, and executives just go over to Paramount and magically get a $7 to $9 billion deal to dig out the UFC and then make the UFC a partner and seller. Right when I told y'all that they were done getting that money from Saudi Arabia. Yes, bro, this is some very interesting stuff, I would think. How you doing here for boxing? But Bill, you paid above your pay grade, buddy. Hey, I feel like Errol was a victim. Man, they've been fixing fights, bro. There was an epidemic of fight fixing. An epidemic of fight fixing. Epidemic. And after the epidemic of fight fixing, there came an epidemic of fights getting shut down. Dude, do you understand how hard and ridiculous it is that the PBC lost everything, bro? The DAZN, let me tell you, the same fund that was used to pay the PBC is the same fund being used to pay TKO. Yes, it is. The same fund, because Showtime was bought by Paramount Plus. It was put under CBS. Steven Espinoza was fired. The executives from ESPN came in to replace the executive from Showtime. And those executives from ESPN ended the contract before they left and went to Paramount. Yeah, I don't know what you're on, bro, so I got to see you later. See you later, man. See you later. It was nice. Nah, I'm going to fry you dudes, though. And I mean this. I'm going to do a public service. This is a public service. A public service. It's a public service. No, I'm not going on about the mob. What would I know about the mob, bro? By the way, dude, the mob is just a group of people. No, I'm not going off about no mob. I'm talking about businessmen. I'm talking about businessmen that are not going to let you continue to steal that money. And they're going to redirect the money to something that is going to be profitable. That's what I'm saying. And those guys are going to be profitable because all that money that was being promised to Frank Warren is now been promised to Dana White. For Dana White to spend and do what Dana White wants to do with it on Netflix. So no, man, I love this. Oh, he came by yesterday because he's an employee of Bill Haney, and Bill Haney will never talk to me. Bill Haney can't even go in Madison Square Garden, bro. Man, anyway, man, somebody, let me put a link in the chat. If anybody wants to talk to me, you can. If not, I'm going to be very, very positive right now. I'm sorry that I went into that, but I'm serious, man. I get to have my cathartic stage on occasion, and can't nobody tell me I don't get to have that. I know full well what you guys are doing to Gervonta and these other guys because you did it to me. I've seen it happen to other people. I know it. I know it is happening to him. Okay? It's not coincidental that all of these things are flying around this guy at the same time. There's not. And you guys use probability to do it. You surveil him, you watch him, you see what his patterns are, you see what his tendencies are, and then you set your traps based off their tendencies. Where does he like to go every day? What does he like to drink? How does he react if he gets mad? Okay, somebody gets react. Oh, so we're going to let's try to make him mad, constantly try to make him mad, run somebody into his car and, make sure his battery runs out of power. Let's steal his phone when he's sitting. If he's sitting somewhere, we'll steal his phone. Dog, they will follow you around and do all kind of dumb shit to keep you in a frustrated state so that they know that when they ultimately try to put you in that situation, that you are primed to respond the way they want you to respond. They cheat in business the same way they cheat at basketball. The same way they cheat at boxing, there are people that cheat at business. That's what they do. That's what they do. And private eyes are involved in it. That's how these people say, oh, if you fuck with me, I'm going to ruin you. Well, what do they mean when they say, if you play with me, I'm going to ruin you? They're going to ruin your reputation. They're going to ruin your life. They're going to ruin your relationship with your girlfriend. They're going to cause all kind of problem at your school, your kid's school. They'll do anything to dislodge your life because they have no conscience whatsoever with the way they behave. And these are the people that I'm talking about. So it doesn't make, and you don't have to know them. I know them. So I know full well what they are capable of doing, what they're willing to do, what they enjoy to do. I understand it. And once I put that in what happens to them in context, I know it's them because they're the people that do that. They're the people that gaslight you. They're the people that plan these things out. They're the people that have the police on a fucking roto dial. They'll just make 100 police. In order to get you arrested, they'll make 100 calls to the police. Just keep calling. I've seen this guy doing this. I've seen this guy doing that. Anonymous tip, anonymous tip, anonymous tip. And then all of a sudden you're getting followed around by the police because these guys keep putting fucking anonymous tips on you and you're not doing nothing. So don't tell me that, or they'll follow you out of a store. They'll follow you out of a store, pull you over, and give you a DUI because they know full well you were at a bar. And we know how much drinks he had, so now's the time to pull him over. Oh, there's a drunk driver. His license plate is this. Oh, dispatch. There's a drunk driver with the license plate. This, that. Okay, we'll pull him over. That's what they do to people, man. Just like Karen's call, like you're like in DC. If you're partying, a bunch of black people are having fun, what does somebody always do? Oh, there's black people fighting in the park. And some cornball white girl will call the police on you 10 times and act, I saw all this stuff going on. They're fighting and they're loud. Their music's too, break it up, guys. Break it up. Get out. You guys don't know how to act. Meanwhile, you got some women in there. I told you I would shut that down. I told you I'd shut that down. Oh, you think you're going to make money? Oh, you think you're going to throw a party? I bet I can shut that down. That's what they do. That's what they do, and they're powerful people. They're powerful people that do this with this attitude, and they never believe that they're wrong, ever. You could make an argument with them, be 100% right, and they will never change their mind because they only care about winning. They're addicted to gambling, but that's okay. That's why they're in trouble with their gambling, and that's why they're always taking bets and doing this stupid shit. He said, that's sad. I knew all this happening with Gervonta is bigger than boxing. I'm going to tell you, I personally know people capable of this. Not just capable of it. I know people with an interest in it doing this. I absolutely do. And they are very good at planning things. Very much pride themselves on the ability to plan. Matter of fact, the only talent that they have above and beyond pretty much anybody else is their ability to plan. So everything that they do is planned, everything that they do. So all you got to do is look for the system, look how it comes out, and you know it's them doing it. I'm telling you, man, it's the same thing if the CIA, FBI, or whatever were involved. Plus, they will involve them too. Trust me. But anyway, what do I think of Zuffa Boxing? I don't really know anything about Zuffa Boxing. I think Zuffa Boxing is a promoter. And I think that they're going to be successful. And honestly, I hope that they are successful. I hope Zuffa is successful. I do. I hope Zuffa is very successful because I hope he drives Eddie Hearn out of the United States. That's what I want from Zuffa. I want Zuffa because if Al Heyman had a stroke and he's not where he was, and we're going to have United States boxing, I would rather have it in the hands of somebody in the United States because that's where all the money's coming from. The money doesn't come from there. Everybody's acting like the money that's in the United States is coming from the Saudi Arabia. No, Saudi Arabia comes over here to get money. And I don't care how these guys tell this lie. They're coming here to get something that is going to result in them having more power, which results in them having more money. So I don't need the Saudis to come over here and pay for anything. Don't need the Brits to come over here and do anything. They're only coming here because they were able to steal the money. And even Tyson Fury came over here and then he went back. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm an idiot. I'm still right. I'm an idiot, but I'm still right. You're not an idiot and are wrong all the time. Jimmy, you're not an idiot. You don't think you're an idiot and you're wrong all the time. You're wrong every time. You're wrong all the time. You know what I mean? You don't have to. You can think I'm wrong. You're an idiot. Nah, you're a crybaby. You are a spoiled crybaby, is what you are. You're a spoiled crybaby that thinks you have the right to win all the time. And if little poo-poo doesn't get his way, then poo-poo going to throw a big fit, and poo-poo going to hurt a lot of people because little poo-poo is going to let everybody know that he's tough. Sorry, babe, I'll get off. I did. I stopped. Hey, do you think Bud's retire? Do you think that Bud's retirement is real? No, I don't. Hey, Catherine, how you doing, Catherine? What's going on, Catherine? Hope you're doing well. Oh, don't get mad. If I don't get my way, I'm gonna get mad and I'm gonna hurt somebody. I'm gonna lash out at everybody if I don't get my way. If I'm not right, then everybody else is gonna punished. Bitch ass nigga. Anyway, do you think? No, I don't believe in his retirement. No, I do not believe it. Hell no. Bud is gonna fight as soon as they tell Bud to fight. The second somebody, as soon as somebody pops Bud Crawford on the earlobe, Bud is gonna fight again. As soon as somebody slaps Bud on the back of the neck and tells him to fight, Bud is gonna fight. Just like when somebody slapped Floyd Mayweather Jr. on the back of the head, Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s got to come out and fight. Hey, as soon as somebody tells Floyd to fight, he came out and fought. As soon as they tell him not to fight, they don't fight. As soon as somebody says they're going to have a car accident, they have a car accident. Like I said, these guys, I love your planning. Because the percentage chances will be, but no, I don't think he's retired. No. I think as soon as somebody tells him to fight again, he's going to fight because he's not going to have any choice. He's going to have to fight. Because these guys got so much dirt on Bud that Bud is either going to do what he's told or Bud is going to be in trouble. So Bud is going to do what Bud is told. So the only question is Bud going to be told to fight again? And my suspicion is yes, he's going to be told to fight again. Because, bro, y'all ain't going to escape with that shit. You know what I mean? Y'all cheat too much, man. Let's be real, bro. Y'all cheat too much. Can I talk out of school for a second, man? This is Friday. I'm going to tell you something to y'all. You cheat too much. You change the rules and you cheat. Change the rules, and then when the rules are changed, you still cheat because you claim that that's not the rule. Every time there's rules agreed, you change the rule, and then with the changed rule, you still cheat. You collude with other people. They'll be, look, man, these dudes, let me tell you about these dudes, man. Let me tell you how bad these dudes cheat. These dudes, if you play a board game with these dudes, there could be 5 people playing a board game, right? The dude will bribe 3 of the players in the game to do exactly what they plan to do at the beginning of the game. So no matter how it turns out, he winds up winning because he was the one that decided, okay, I'm going to make the rules. You're going to control the bank. You are going to be the first one to drop out. You're going to be the second one to drop out. And then that way, you're going to be the one that winds up with the monopoly and the bank. I'm telling you, man, these dudes cheat so bad, bro. They cheat so bad, man. Like, if you knew who I was talking about, man, they cheat so bad, bro. They cheat. And that's why I know, like, if they gamble on a boxing match, they're going to fix the boxing match. I'm telling you, they've got the ability to fix the boxing match because they're gambling. And these guys are gambling big money. They're gambling. Not only this, watch this. They want to gamble for just for bragging rights so that they can say that they were smarter than you. That's how crazy these people are, man. So Gervonta Davis ran afoul of these people because Gervonta Davis wouldn't do what they plan for Gervonta Davis to do. See, you have to do what they tell you to do. You don't have a choice. You have to do what they tell you to do. And if you don't, they're going to make your life bad. And they're going to punish you and teach you why they're right. But why are they right? Because they will cheat, lie, and steal to set the situation up. And they will have all kind of people benefit from their schemes. Of course. And over the years, the schemes got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It started with little schemes, and it got to bigger and bigger and bigger schemes as they got older. And as life went on, and they got bigger in their organizations and all of that. But don't worry about it. I'm telling you who these people are. They are the people that will try to ruin your life if you look at them wrong. I'm telling you, you know why I told you this a long time ago. You'll see a billionaire walk by you in the street and you won't even know who they are. But that doesn't mean that guy who you don't know who they are won't go out of their way to use their money to ruin your life. So what happened is, and I mean this, I'm telling you I know this to be the truth because of my own information. He ran afoul of these people because they like another fighter. It's that simple. They like somebody else. They like Anthony Joshua. They want Anthony Joshua to do well because they find Anthony Joshua attractive. Oh, no, you can get out of here, bro. Why are you guys begging me not to talk about this? I've never even seen you before, but for some reason, you desperately want me to get off this topic. I'm not going to get off this topic because I'm telling you the truth. This is boxing. You guys are setting up Gervonta Davis. Yes, you are. And it is boxing. And you're setting up Gervonta Davis to decrease the market value of the PBC. And so that they don't have a viable fighter. That's what you're doing. Just like you're shutting down, and just like they shut down Bob Arum and hired people away from Top Rank, away from ESPN in exchange for them ending ESPN's contract. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And the people that are listening that know I'm talking, that I know what I'm talking about, are listening. So it doesn't matter who doesn't know and who doesn't believe. I'm telling you, I know that this is what's going on. It's not just my personal opinion. I'm not saying that it's Eddie Hearn. I'm not saying it's Frank Warren. I'm not saying it's Dana White. I'm not saying it's any of these people. The people that I'm talking about, I know perfectly well are capable of doing this. And very, very, very much have interest in doing it. And the fact that this happened in Miami, to me, makes a lot of sense. The reason why they refused to let the fight take place in Georgia and they forced it to Miami. I know why they did that. They switched it out of Georgia because Georgia was not going to string him up. So they got him strung up in Florida instead. They had that fight in Atlanta first. Shout out to the people I know in Atlanta. And then Atlanta did not allow them to have an exhibition fight and took it out of the state. What kind of political connections do you have to get somebody in Georgia state government to say a boxing exhibition cannot be taking place and to move it to Miami? You don't think that is a really funny situation? That they were so upset about Gervonta Davis fighting Jake Paul in an exhibition fight that the state stood on principle and wouldn't allow it in the state. But then when it winds up in the other state, Miami, then all this legal shit pops off. And Gervonta Davis has warrants out for his arrest. The fight gets shut down. And then Matchroom Boxing gets to come in and earn the money. The money that was going to get paid, the $100 million, $150 million does not go where? It doesn't go to the PBC. It goes where? It goes to Matchroom. To the same pot of money being used to shut down American boxing for some real crazy reason. After Gervonta Davis was not allowed to fight in Georgia, it was moved to Miami. All of a sudden, this legal stuff comes up that now seems like it's disappeared. But yet all the damage was done because guess who got the money? Eddie Hearn got the money. Didn't he? Did it or did not? Eddie Hearn get the money that the PBC was going to get from Netflix because of that arrest. Not even because of the arrest, because of the accusation. He wasn't even arrested. He was only accused. It was only after certain people spoke up that they pushed it with that ridiculous PR play you guys made by having the sheriff's department. We have the U.S. Marshals out looking for him. The guy had never even left the vicinity. But you guys said he was on the run. You're tearing him down. You blocked his fight. You tore him down. And it's highly predictable. Highly predictable that you will do that. Highly predictable that Gervonta's next fight is going to have some other issue take place. If it's not with Gervonta Davis, it's going to be a problem with the venue. Or it's going to be a problem with Rolly Romero getting assault charges on him. Because let's not forget that Gervonta Davis, this is not the first time a Gervonta Davis fight got shut down on sexual assault allegations and the first time it didn't even go anywhere with Rolly Romero. He had a fight with Rolly Romero. No, we don't like the Rolly fight. Rolly gets accused of sexual assault. It goes away, but Rolly doesn't get the fight. Pitbull has to come in. Come on, man. You guys are playing games with these fights, man. Just like you're fixing fights. You guys have fixers doing these things. And it's not going to happen. And it's not going to happen anymore. Not from you all. Not at the level you guys are doing it. Because the level you guys are doing it is causing all kind of problems to so many people. But if I don't get my way, that means I'm not a leader. If you don't do exactly what I tell you to do, then people will question what I say. So I'm going to do anything I have to do to get this done. I'm ruthless. You're a moron. Because that shit is not going to work. Yeah, I remember when they blocked the Houston venue. Yeah, if you go through everything, you will see that this is not an isolated incident with Gervonta Davis. It is not an isolated incident with Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis and the PBC lost their contract with CBS. Yes, they did. But who was the one that's responsible for them losing it? The same people that hired the ESPN executives to come in and bring in Zufta Boxing to replace the PBC. Because Zufta Boxing, as far as the organizational structure with Paramount Plus, CBS, and Showtime, Zufta replaced the PBC. Yes, they did. If you understand organizational structure and you're looking at it from the angle that I'm looking at it, where these guys got a zillion companies that they control, so they think they cannot find anything because they got a zillion. Look, man, I don't care how many shits you got on that spreadsheet, bro. I'm telling you, I don't care how many boxes there are on your spreadsheets. I do not care how many fields there are in your database. I do not care. I do not care. If I turn off the electricity, all that shit goes off. All of it. All of it goes off. And then the only thing you got left is the actual gold and the actual military. And when you guys in the public sector, I'm telling you something, and I'm going to get off on this because I know that you know what I'm talking about. When you guys in the public sector go too far, that's when the military comes in. Yes, they do. That's when the military comes in. And when the military starts handling domestic issues, you start having a lot of stuff. And guess what? That's what we've been seeing. Increasingly. The federal government increasingly putting military in the U.S. streets. And I'm going to tell you, and you can like it or lump it, the direction you guys are going is going to get military in the U.S. streets. Because you guys are stealing and scamming at a level that is going to cause chaos, is causing chaos and death. All because you insist on everything being downstream from every decision you make. And I'm talking to you. Your problem is that you are causing problems with other people because everything that happens, you believe you have to agree with, and that everything that you think has to be right. You are not the smartest person in the world. And even if you are, that doesn't make you right. You've got to stop doing what you're doing. You have to. Or you're going to get stopped from doing what you're doing on God. Because they can't fuck with you. I can. You can fuck with them. You can't fuck with me. So you know what I'm saying. And I don't appreciate it at all. I'm not angry. I don't appreciate it, though. Have a wonderful day. And don't you ever threaten me again in your life.